part of that do you not understand, huh? What part of that do you not get?
You are a moron.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm the moron. Have a nice day and go fly a kite, you MAGA inbred fool, you.
I guess I would be considered a MAGA guy because I voted for Trump.
Okay.
But I don't understand. Like, I'm listening to you guys, and I'm listening to your callers continually just criticize.
Okay, well, let's talk about me.
And smash
Rob,
we're a bunch of retards. Even you criticizing everyone like they're a bunch of retards.
Okay, so first of all, don't use that word on this show because I don't use it, and it's not a good word that we would use on this show. So that's how I would start. I never.
What word is that?
Hold on, Rob. Hold on. Let's have a conversation, but please don't use that word.
I don't understand. What word did I say that was that line?
Okay, I'm not going to repeat it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I don't know what to tell you. So let's focus on me, not the callers. Okay, Rob? Name me something that I have said on this show specifically about Donald Trump that you disagree with, and then let's go from there. Let's try not to generalize, Rob, if that's fair. Tell me something I've done.
I'm not generalizing. I understand you're trying to fast talk this.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Rob, stop playing the victim.
Let's have Rob. Stupid.
Rob.
You said the guy doesn't understand Medicaid.
Rob, I need you to slow down.
I'm listening to you, bro.
Rob, you're not listening. You're talking over me. I'm trying to be very calm and have a conversation with you. So, give me a specific statement that I said on the show just today about Donald Trump that you disagree with, and then we can go from there and have a conversation. Just give me one thing. What did I say?
You said he doesn't understand food stamps or Medicaid.
Okay, so here's why I said that, and now we can have a conversation about that, and you can tell me why you disagree. So Donald Trump is going to be cutting benefits on food stamps for millions of Americans in this country. Many of those people are suffering. What I mean by suffering is they can't even afford to go to the grocery and spend $20 on, bread and butter or whatever they buy. And when he cuts that, they are going to be suffering more. What part of that does not make sense to you when he says, well, their prices are going to be lower? He said the prices are going to be lower. The prices are not lower now. Even if that was true, 6 months from now, a year from now, when he cuts benefits on food stamps, they're going to be losing the ability to get food for free because they are in desperate need. What do you disagree with about that?
I disagree with the fact you act like our president is a moron.
Hold on. I want you to be specific. Let's stop.
Let me speak. Don't overtalk me.
Then respond to what I just said.
Answer the question.
Then respond to what I just said.
You just start talking.
Then respond to what I just said. It has nothing to do with me insulting the president. You talked about food stamps. Respond to what I just said.
You just said the president doesn't understand food stamp and how people are hurting.
He doesn't.
How do you not figure this man, who's a billionaire, doesn't understand what? I mean, he employs people.
Okay,
he pays people. He knows what this is all about.
I'm trying.
If you think for somehow
I'm trying to explain it to you, Rob.
You're not.
Okay, so answer this then. Cutting food stamps, how will that help those people? Help me understand, since clearly I don't understand. Help me understand. How is right now cutting food stamps to millions of Americans who don't have any money to buy groceries, right now at this moment, explain to me how that's helpful?
Well, obviously, that's not going to help you.
Okay, well, that's my point. I'm glad we agree.
We're not doing a dash. We're doing a race. This is a marathon.
Rob, that was my point. Okay, my point was there's a lot of people in this country right now that are suffering. He made it sound like it's beneficial to those people today. I'm assuming you didn't hear the comments he made this morning, okay? And that has nothing to do with me calling him a name. But here's why I do call him names, Rob, since now you've agreed with me and made my point about food stamps, which he didn't make this morning. The reason why I call him names is because this is the guy who's insulted POWs, Gold Star families, women on looks. Do you think it's appropriate for a man? Let's start here. Do you think it's appropriate? What would you call somebody who attacks somebody's military service who was a POW, doesn't respect them because they were captured? What would you say about that? Would you call that person a moron, or you think that's taking it too far?
Are you talking about John McCain?
I'm just asking you a very generic question, and it is irrelevant to who it is.
It's not a generic question.
Oh, it's not?
If you randomly say that anyone that's a POW is garbage because they got
so it's okay if you don't like somebody.
But
so
that was
it's okay.
Personal issue between those two.
Okay, so you're saying you're defending it because he doesn't like John McCain. It's okay to say I don't respect him because he was captured. Is that what you're saying, sir?
Right. That's because that was a person. That's no different.
So if you have a person, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Let me explain.
Calm this idiot down. No, you're not going to explain. I'm going to explain to you, you dumbass. Okay, now I'm going to explain it to you. Just because you don't like somebody doesn't give you the right to attack their military service, and you're curling yourself into a pretzel, making yourself sound like the imbecile that you are. You are defending Donald Trump for attacking John McCain because he was captured. If you don't like Donald Trump because of policy or any other thing, fine. Let me tell you the difference, okay, dodo head? Okay, you MAGA inbred? Yeah, that's right. I'm going there. I don't like Ron DeSantis. I don't like J.D. Vance, but never would I crap on their military service. What part of that do you not understand, huh? What part of that do you not get?
You are a moron.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm the moron. Have a nice day and go fly a kite, you MAGA inbred fool, you. I proved you wrong when it came to food stamps. You admitted to me that cutting food stamps to millions of Americans and making cuts to food stamps will be bad. You admitted that, and you just proved yourself to be a complete clown. And now you're defending Donald Trump attacking the military service of John McCain because he doesn't like John McCain, or you didn't like him as a politician. So you're defending going after somebody and crapping on their military service, which makes you a moron and an a-hole. Have a nice day. Another MAGA moron. So Donald Trump did speak earlier in the day today. And as you know, they're cutting back on some pretty important things, food stamps, possibly Medicaid, it appears as though, and many other important government programs that many Americans rely on to survive, food stamps being one of them. So a reporter asked Donald Trump today about how you can possibly justify cutting food stamps. And listen to this exchange because it is so absurd.
You campaign on lowering the price of groceries. How do you justify cutting food assistance in this bill?
Let me just tell you, the cut is going to give everybody much more food because prices are coming way down. Groceries are down. Eggs. You told me about eggs. You asked me a question about eggs. My first week, you said eggs. I said, I just got here. Tell me about eggs. And it was going through the roof. You know that eggs now are way down. Everybody's buying eggs. Groceries down. Energy's down. Gasoline is now they're buying gasoline now for $1.99. If you look back, you'll see $3.50, $4. This country, we're going to lose this country. Our country now is respected all over the world. All over the world we're respected. We were a laughing stock.
Okay, so first of all, that's a lie. It's really mentally exhausting to have to correct him literally every word out of his mouth. Food prices are not coming down. In fact, they've been gradually going up, just as they have been for the last 18 months. Now, there's a lot of reasons for that. But when he says the prices are going down, that's not true. Secondly, for him to make the statement that somebody that is unemployed or on minimum wage and can't put food on the table without government assistance, for him to cut that is so abundantly absurd and so ridiculous, it's unbelievable. It's insane and it's crazy. And it makes absolutely and positively no sense. So the average price of gas prices probably in the U.S. Is somewhere around $3.18 per gallon. Okay, that means it is up from $3.02 per gallon earlier in the year. So that means gas prices are up, if my math is correct, about 16 cents. Gas prices have not dropped since day one, since Donald Trump took office, and 1 year ago they were down to $3.59, and then they went down, and now they're going back up. So the idea that Donald Trump is lowering gas prices since day one is absolutely and factually inaccurate. Same thing with food prices. Very weird interaction when Donald Trump again started talking about the new Pope and the Pope's brother, because normally you would make some statements about these figures. And if you want to say they're wonderful people, that's great. But Donald Trump says his brother is a wonderful person. Why? Have a listen to this.
I'd like to have the talks at the Vatican. I can't think of a better place. This is a pretty good place too, come to think. Do you like the American Pope? But I like him. Yeah, I like the Pope, and I like the Pope's brother. You know, one of the Pope's brothers, actually both of them, but one in particular is a major MAGA fan. Did you know that? He lives in Florida. He's got MAGA, he's got Trump, and I look forward to getting him to the White House. I want to shake his hand. I want to give him a big hug. Thank you very much, everybody.
So when it comes to religious figures or prominent people, Donald Trump will invite somebody to the White House and shake their hand if he kisses their ass or if he's a huge fan. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Donald Trump administration. This is what we're talking about here. It's abundantly ridiculous and crazy. And there was a moment today where a reporter asked him, "Can you guarantee that the voters and the people who worked for you, who voted for you, working class people, will not lose their health insurance under this new bill that was put forward?" Now, this is something, and this is an audio clip that we are going to have to keep for the archives, because I guarantee you when that does happen, we're going to play this clip all over again. This is Donald Trump saying they won't lose their health insurance. Have a listen to this.
Waste, fraud, and
Can you
abuse.
guarantee that your voters who supported the election, particularly working class voters, will not lose health insurance under this bill?
Oh, they won't lose health insurance. Not only that, remember, I'm cutting drug prices by 85%. And right now, I'm saving it. I'm saving the whole thing because I did something that nobody was willing to do. Other countries pay a tiny fraction what we do. And I instituted favored nations. We're now going to pay the lowest in the world. We're going to be the equivalent of the lowest country in the world.
85%, he just said. Absolutely ridiculous. By the way, this new bill, $5 to $6 trillion added to spending over the course of the next 2 years. So any MAGA Republican that tells you they're conserving and they're saving money, that is abundantly a lie. It's not true. Speaking of right-wing clowns, Mike Johnson holding another press conference. Now this, I talked about this yesterday, about the fact that on November 1st, and my heart goes out to everyone. I don't care whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. If you voted for Donald Trump, you're an imbecile. But all the people out there that are going to be losing their SNAP benefits, their
this
food
is
stamps.
real. This is real. They're going to lose their food.
So Mike Johnson had the gall today talking about emergency funds and, talking about the Democrats are inflicting pain on the American people. Let me also remind all of you that there's $5 billion in a slush fund for emergencies like this one to help people keep food on the table. And Mike Johnson this morning had the gall to say that the Democrats are the ones that are inflicting pain on the American people. Have a listen to this.
Somebody handed me this as I was walking in here yesterday. According to the Media Research Center study, by a 2.5 to 1 margin, the Capitol Hill Press Corps has tweeted more about the House calendar during the shutdown than the negative consequences of the Democrat shutdown, than the troubles that we have, the hardships that are being experienced because of the troop pay and WIC funding and flights grounded and SNAP funding. You guys are writing more about the House calendar than the real pain that's being inflicted on the American people, and that's why we have to come in and relay the simple facts.
Let me just, Leonard, I want to get your thoughts on this. But first of all, the Republicans, let me repeat, let me speak very slowly for some of my MAGA friends that might not understand. The Republicans that run the House and the Senate have refused to use emergency funds, around $5 billion, to feed the neediest people in this country. Nothing, let me repeat, not Chuck Schumer, not one Democrat. Nothing is stopping them from doing it right now. The only people that don't want to do it are Mike Johnson and the MAGA Republicans.
He doesn't want people talking about the calendar because you know why? It's gaining traction. It's gaining traction with Republicans and Democrats because they're all pissed about losing their food and having food insecurity, and there's not enough to go around. And he, his friends actually said in the news that he's looking very tired. He's looking old, and I could see the gray spreading. And you know what? And he said because he's working so hard. How can he be working so hard, Brian, when no one's in Congress?
No one's sitting down.
He gave everybody a month-and-a-half vacation. Who's working hard?
I said this on the Tim Pool show last week, and of course I didn't get much of a response. But when the Democrats or the Republicans are running the House and the Senate, it is their job to, for lack of a better term, negotiate or compromise with the other side. Republicans are not only not able to do that because they can't govern, but they haven't even agreed or even asked. When Hakeem Jeffries was asked about these, they've reached out to Mike Johnson. They want to sit down at the table. The Republicans refuse to even sit down and talk to the Democrats. And then there's Emmer. Listen to what this Republican bozo, fool, clown, buffoon, whatever word you want to use.
Majority House whip. Yeah.
Again, they're blaming the Democrats for the SNAP problem. Listen to what he had to say.
On the issue of SNAP, Democrats are bending over backward to oppose Trump, using taxpayer dollars to fund frivolous lawsuits. On the issue of SNAP.
Yeah, we don't need to hear that same clip twice.
First, not a frivolous lawsuit.
The first time was
not to
enough.
interrupt you, but 25 states. That's half of the country are suing them. It's not frivolous. It's not minor.
What these states that are run by Democrats are trying to do is they are working for their constituents whether they voted for them or not. People in their states that are struggling, that are living paycheck to paycheck, people in their states that can't provide food on the table if they lose their coverage. That's what these Democrats are fighting for. It's not political, and they're not trying to score political points. They care about people, and they want to make sure that the people that are on SNAP benefits can keep those benefits. And again, I repeat this once again to these morons on the right who don't seem to understand what's going on in D.C. There is a slush fund of $5 billion of emergency funds that could be used on November 1st, at least to buy Republicans and Democrats a little bit more time to negotiate this. But Republicans are refusing to release those emergency funds. What does that mean? On November 1st, Americans, millions of them, are going to starve. That's what this means.
Aaron Ford is the Attorney General in Nevada, and I believe they're one of the states that jumped in on the lawsuit. But you know what you didn't hear from him? He's a Democrat, and he's running for governor. But you know what you didn't hear from him? He didn't say, you know what, I'm filing this lawsuit on behalf of the Democrats in the state. I'm filing this lawsuit on behalf of the blue people in the state. That's not what he said. He filed it on behalf of everyone in this state.
And I think that's wonderful. And by the way, I'm friends with him, and I hope he wins the governorship, because our governor here in the state of Nevada, Lombardo, is a complete moron.
No partisan politics.
But Monteraju, who I think is a really good reporter, really good journalist. That's what
I like
real
him.
report.
He's
You're
good.
not a journalist or a reporter if you show up to Portland chasing Antifa down with pepper spray. Okay, let me be very clear on that. That doesn't make you a journalist or reporter. You can call yourself whatever you want.
That's a clown.
Yeah, you're a clown looking for clicks. Let me be clear on that. Like the Nick Sortors.
Click clown.
They're morons. But Monteraju is a real journalist. And he asks Mike Johnson this morning a very prevalent question, because, you know, we're talking about food stamps and Americans that are struggling, that are going to lose their health care. And Monteraju asked him, how can you justify the administration bailing out $40 million, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
For Argentina?
Well, 40
And-
billion.
I'm sorry,
billion.
did I say 40 million?
Well,
I apologize.
And before you set it up, let me just say, for 38 billion, they could solve the whole problem.
Yeah.
Permanently.
So 40 billion, I'm sorry, I misspoke there. Not to say 40 million isn't a lot of money. $40 billion Donald Trump just handed over to Argentina. And listen to Mike Johnson dodge this, what is a very good question. Listen to this.
Look, we give foreign policy, the execution of foreign policy, to the executive branch, and that's what the president is doing right now. There's lots of nuances about that. He's involved in negotiating trade agreements around the country to the great success and benefit of the American people right now. Dozens of them being worked out. He's overseas right now doing the same thing. And what he accomplished in Japan is a remarkable thing for the American people. And by the way, they've agreed to invest $550 billion into America, and that's good for everyone. So I can't get into the nuances of every single trade agreement with every country around the world, but we're going to trust the president to do what he's doing. He's had a remarkable track record of success for the American people, and nobody in this room can refute it. So I'm going to leave it right there. Chad, let's talk about the government shutdown. It's the main important thing right here. Chad, go ahead.
So inflation on the way up again. I could name you many of products.
Consumer price index,
Yeah.
GDP, all going up.
The worst job, for lack of a better term, the worst jobs report we've had in decades. We are headed towards a recession, and then Mike Johnson sits there or stands there, the 4-foot-tall Mikey Johnson, little Mikey, stands there like the imbecile that he is, and he doesn't want to respond to the fact that we gave Argentina almost $40 billion.
he tried to pivot.
Yeah, to bail out the economy. Well, I don't want to talk about that. I don't know enough about it, or I don't want to get into the nuances of it. Yeah, of course.
He's doing great overseas. How's that America First, Brian?
Yeah.
You have Americans about to be starved, children about to be without food, people who have federal workers are standing in line for food for the first time in their entire life. But
Yeah.
he's over there making good deals. And let me tell you something. China said they're going to invest $550 billion. We haven't seen a dime of it yet, number one. And number two, the deal he made with China on the tariffs was always the deal. He's the one who raised the tariffs and then had it said, oh, I got to go talk to them. And you know what he did? He made it back to the deal it was anyway.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, these people are a joke. Mike Johnson is an absolute joke.